What happens if a budget goes wrong?
In 1976 was the time when the UK went to the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, for a bailout, normally reserved for third world countries. In the mid-1970s, UK was struggling with high inflation, peaking at nearly 25% in 75. The country had large fiscal deficits. And when I say fiscal deficits, I mean its budget deficits, so how much the government borrows to fund public spending.
Every year.
Every year. And in those days, it was 10% of GDP. And now, at the moment, we've got 5% in the UK. The country also had a balance of payments deficit. The government was deeply divided about how to respond to their problems. In September of 1976, the government couldn't fund and stay solvent, so they had to go cap in hand to the IMF. The conditions were significant public spending cuts, stricter monetary policy, and then a whole host of food subsidy controls, price controls, and lots of things like that. So that's the first example, but there was one a lot closer to home and time, and that was the Liz Truss mini budget of 2022. Officially, it was known as the Growth Plan.
They were going to spend £40 billion, but they didn't tell anyone how it was going to be funded. Other government bond markets around the world worried that other governments would try and do the same thing. So other government bonds, prices going down, yields going up, happened all around the world, including America, etc., like that. The fact that the Bank of England said they were going to intervene worked magic straight away. And that bond yield, that 10-year government bond yield, fell from 5.5% to back to less than 4% again in a straight line. And that shows you the power of the Bank of England. And then these central banks have huge power, but the politicians absolutely made it a terrible mistake. And guess what? 2 weeks later, Liz Truss resigned.